Hey everybody, I'm so happy y'all are here. We are on the night of the I don't know what happened right there, but I'm so happy y'all here. It is the night of the launch. Today was the launch of CSHEO Club, and I'm excited. That's why I'm on camera because y'all don't never see me on camera, but I'm on camera today because I was excited to share the good news with y'all. And besides, the people who normally be on camera wasn't available to get on camera, so it came on me, and I'm here to fill in those shoes. It's some tough shoes to fill because it's not my thing. So just to get everybody acclimated to what we talking about here today, if you have been in the Facebook group, if you are on our Facebook page, if you in our text messages in any kind of way, um, we launched CSHEO Club. And I know it came as a shocking surprise because we haven't built up to it. That's what the marketers tell you to do. But we were so happy because it was a long road to get it launched. Like we had technical hiccups. We had, planning and just everything that could possibly go wrong. So I knew we was on the right track because everything was going wrong. And the more things was going wrong, I knew we was doing something right. So we pushed through and we said, you know what? While it's getting good and it's working and people get in and we tested it, no technical hiccups. It was beautiful. We ready to go. Let's put this out so it can't go wrong. So y'all officially have access to CSHEOclub.com, but y'all probably don't know much about it, and that's our fault. So I am here tonight to explain to you more about CSHEO Club. But first, before we dive into any of that information, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Mykea Johnson. I know y'all seen it at the bottom of the screen for a minute, but I want to be formal about it. So my name is Mykea Johnson, and I am one of the co-founders at CSHEO, as well as owner of the agency Go Giga X. So you can check us out at gogigax.com. And I've been running this business for almost 5.5 years now. And I had a long entrepreneur journey that was filled with riddles, things you didn't understand. I remember, and I'm just gonna let you all know. Everybody who's first time been an entrepreneur, you kind of walk in with these rose-colored glasses on, and you're like super excited, and you hear all these gurus like, business is so easy to get started. All you have to do is, and I fell for it. I'm going to be totally honest with y'all. I was like, that's it. That's the route I need to take. I just need to do 1, 2, 3, and it's just going to be awesome. And as a result of that decision, which was a piss poor decision back then, I ended up getting evicted, stand on my friend's couch, and built this agency up from there. So a nice chunk of my journey, I was on somebody's couch. I just want y'all to know. And that is important to know because what we dive into tonight, I'm going to kind of tell you a lot about what I learned. And the biggest part of what I learned is about wordplay in this game. So tonight I'm gonna teach you some words. It's words you heard before, but you just probably never looked at them like that. And that's a huge deal because you have no idea where you stand until you know what those words mean, what they are, how they work in this business landscape. And I know we talking about getting to the money, but this is gonna hold you back from getting to the money, being able to communicate. We have talked. I'll say it like this: we haven't talked our way into those $1 million closed because we haven't had enough $1 million conversations to have $1 million close. So when they come in, they expect you to say certain terms, connect with them a certain way, and using that jargon a certain way. Just don't have it. So there is some general business terms that I want to go over tonight, and it's called wordplay. Because if you're gonna play this game, you need to know the words. But before we do that, let me just do a quick shout out. Today we launched in our shout out wall on CSHEO Club. I want to highlight Shanice Hendricks, Kendra Landry, Latina Saab, and Master Coach G for signing up without much notice or information. Man, they pulled the trigger. We had got 3 lifetime members and an annual member already committed to CSHEO. So shout out to y'all. I do want to say, if y'all do check this out, that you guys upload a profile photo, you just got to upload it. It'll pop up on the wall because those are just the standard, my first time signing up profile photos. But go ahead and add your profile photo so you can show up on the shout out wall. It's real simple. And for everyone, just to let you know, this is a sneak peek at the inside of CSHEO Club. Like, this is the dashboard. You come in this week. we are heavy in the networking. We're not jumping into courses. We're not jumping into a lot of heavy stuff just yet, because right now we got to break the ice. So this week we're focused on breaking the ice. We're learning more about each other. We strategizing and flowing together. And that's really what's happening in co-working. So we want you to come in because we about to get down to business. We're about to figure out how to get to this money. So let's start it off. So I'm going to hop into wordplay. I'm going to put a word up on the screen that y'all know, but I got to break this down real quick. Entrepreneur. Yep, that's what we are. We entrepreneurs. And by definition, entrepreneur is a person who organizes and operates businesses or businesses. That's what we do. But it also say we take on greater than normal financial risk in order to do so. I promise you, the financial risk part, heavy on the financial risk part. That's what we out here doing. And we're doing it with no money. A majority of the time, we ain't got no cash. I just told you I built this business from a couch. A couch. This ain't no rag to riches story, because I don't even have enough rags to even have a rags to riches story. This is just me working my way from no rags to finally getting some rags, and I'm dirty in the rags so I can get the rich. That's the conversation me and Dr. T had about not even having the rags yet. It's just levels to this. So think about the financial risk part. A lot of people think about the entrepreneur part, about just organizing and operating a business, but it's financial risk out here. So I just wanted to let y'all know that's a part of that entrepreneur space. So if y'all see entrepreneurs out here hustling, begging for money, talking about capital, getting loans, trying to find money, it's because it's a lot of financial risk in this game. So I just want to make sure we point out when we put on that hat, that's what time it is. And there's two things I want y'all to know before I dive deep into this, because I don't want to discourage nobody from doing business. I said I was on the couch. A lot of entrepreneurs had that journey, but I want to start off by saying I took a lot of bad advice. I think I started this live off by saying that I took a lot of bad advice because it just didn't necessarily apply to me. And that's true for you too. So if you don't take any other advice from this, I want you to take these two pieces of advice. All advice is not advice for you, and don't quit. That's my two pieces of advice. That's what I want you to know. That's how I wanted to drill in your head, because all the things that I'm about to say is just not gonna be so pretty, but that is the point. I want to go over another word, which is CEO. So by definition, if you incorporate it with your state, you're got an IRS, sole proprietorship, self-employed, all that good stuff. You may look at yourself as a CEO. You're the main person responsible for managing the company. So that's your role on the board and etc. But here we are CSHEOs because we're women. So it's the same thing, just the pronoun in the middle. So it's cool. That's what it stands for. That's what we're here for. That's what I want you to know. So I just wanted to connect real quick, because one thing, if you're watching this live, you are a business owner, you are an entrepreneur, all those amazing things. And my slides are out of order, but we gonna figure this out, aren't we? But one of the main words I wanted to kind of really, really dive into is the word business, because in both entrepreneur and CEO, it deals with the aspect of a business. And we get out here and we start figuring out like, oh, we're business owners. We do all this amazing stuff. And, by definition, we become all these things. But reality is there are multiple types of businesses. And I'll share the breakdown with you guys on a different slide, a different day, but I'm just going to talk it out. So there's small businesses, and there's a standard to being a small business. And I had to learn this myself. Small businesses are actually having more than 10 employees, and they make about $1 million or more, up to 50 million a year. So I'm not a small business. And a startup company is disruptive. Like, it's disruptive, it's scalable. And if you guys don't know the difference between growth and scalable, I'll just break it down real quick. A business that grows is like agencies and cleaning companies or etc. Like every time you get a new customer and you need more resources. So for example, if I myself can manage 20 customers, then Toy can manage 20 customers. In order for us to get 20 more customers, we need a third person. That's what growth does. So you just kind of keep adding resources as you making more money, which means you're spending more money. But scalable is different. Scalable is like more of an automation. You see that like Uber, etc., where it's like you have a model where like this, you can have an app right? And it only takes 5 people to manage the app. It doesn't matter if it gets to 100,000 people, right? They make more money, but they don't have to add new employees. They don't have to do all the stuff. They maybe have to increase the server or something a little bit. And I don't want to get too technical, but the costs don't really too much go up as they get more customers. And as a matter of fact, the more customers they get, the more profitable they are. So that's a startup. A startup kind of set up their business like that, and it costs more money and they need more capital up front, et cetera, et cetera. But there's this special word that I need to use to describe us, which is called micro businesses. And that's majority of us. Micro businesses make under 250K a year. So we're a 6-figure company, right? We're under that bar, but we make 6 figures, but we're not over 250K annually. So that's not happening. And you have to have less than 9 employees. That's us. It's 4 of us. And it costs less than 50K to get started. Why that's important to know? Because when I got out here, I thought I was a small business. I thought I was a startup. I thought I was all these things. And you start applying for stuff, going for stuff, and you start to realize like, well, they never really picked me. Because the standard, if you're in a pool with other small businesses, you got to remember small businesses can make up to 50 million a year. So, and they have to have a proven track record. A startup can have funding and capital and things working in their favor. Micro businesses do not. That's the solopreneurs. That's your bootstrappers. That's us who don't have anything working with out of the box, and that's not something that you Google search. We kind of stumbled across that term, and maybe our 4th year in business, we realized we was a micro business. It didn't happen right away. It was like, oh, we've been playing the game all wrong. And if you know where you're at, like we know we're a micro business now, we know how to strategize and think and ask questions as a micro business trying to get to a small or business or a startup. So we start here. We start at micro business, and our goal is to transition into millions of dollars and, more than 10 employees. And now we become a small business. And this is the hard part because when we don't know this, we tend to take all this different advice. And it's small business advice. We did not, I remember we went in the VC space. So I want to tell y'all, we absolutely failed at our pitch. We never did $1 million pitch before. We tried to go in there for millions of dollars, got in the game. Yeah, it's a difference between having a pitch for a $10,000 pitch and $1 million pitch, right? And we got in there, epic failure. We failed at pitching in the venture capitalist space. And that's when I learned like, oh, we need our books together. And none of us are accountants. I'm in tech. Dr. T is a strategist, a coach, a course creator. Toya is a producer. Toya Williams is social media marketing. None of us was accounting. I promise you, I had to pick up, and I want to say shout out to Gabby. I had to pick up my phone because I was on YouTube trying to learn all this stuff and follow these steps. That was so difficult. I'm not an accountant. I'm not. People go to school for that. People go to school for that. And we a micro business. We don't have the money for accounting and paying and putting money in things. So when I got frustrated, I said, oh, Gabby is a bookkeeper. She knows this stuff. I picked up my phone. She told me in 5 minutes what it took 6 hours to figure out. And it wasn't all done, but she also pointed me in the right direction. She just saved me a lot of time. And I had to try to have this budget sheet done and try to have these accounting books together, and it still wasn't right at the end of the day because we just been doing things as we go, like micro businesses do. We just figured it out. We throwing stuff at it, and most of us doing it by ourselves. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I just started by myself. I can't imagine it. I was so happy to partner with Toya because I couldn't send an invoice and create your website and put you on the calendar and talk to you. And I need a partner, and we partnered up. So for everybody who is still doing business by yourself, shout out to you. But I promise you that ain't the way to go. I'd rather lean on the next person's expertise any day of the week because it's just so much. And as a micro business who's competing, and I'll show you, as a micro business, you're competing with small businesses, large corporations, startups who has the budget to compete because they actually have to have capital funding to run a startup. In mid-sized businesses, you got a lot of wiggle room, you got a lot of stuff to fight with. And statistically, they say the 2 reasons businesses fail is because there's no demand and no marketing. Well, we don't have the luxury of having large teams to test every product and service we make. We don't have the luxury of being able to have large marketing budgets where we can throw all this money at Facebook and throw all this money at YouTube and throw all this money at the different things that we need to throw money at to get the traction that we need, because we're still putting money back into the business. We still trying to get, we make a little money off, like for us, we made money off a website. Now we got to order more tools to be able to service the next customer. And, it just keeps going. And for those who in product and services, y'all know what I'm talking about. You order just enough to make your first sales. You make enough just for your first set of sales. And then you have to reorder before you could decide to get accounting or anything else. So it's real like work, money movements and things you got to do. No, we don't have that luxury. So a lot of us tend to fall underneath everything. We don't get to make it across that line. So I wanted to point that out, because when we know what we stand, we know what we're working with, and we're limited. We're limited. And that's why we birthed it, CSHEO Club, because it is imperative. It's imperative that we are getting the resources that we need. I promise you, we as an agency could have made way more money than we did. We could have charged, we could have did a lot of different things. The reason why we didn't make as much money as we did is because we helped a lot of entrepreneurs. We have bartered. We've literally done entire projects with them paying us through food stamps, because that's what it was. And we get it. We on the same road. I come from a couch. So it was a blessing to be able to be in a position that somebody can barter with me, exchange with me. And, we able to render a service that actually impacted the path they was on, because they didn't have the capital. And that's the majority of the agencies and companies that we worked for. That was just entrepreneurs. They don't have the capital. We don't have the capital. So what do we do? What do we do? I started doing some research when we started talking about CSHEO Club and what it was going to be about. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm big on communities, but I'm introverted. I'm an introverted person. I do not get on camera. I don't just talk to everybody. I don't walk in the room and spark a conversation. That's Toya. Toya do that all day. I love on people, but I have to have a relationship. So some of us, that's just who we are. That's one of the things that kind of holds us back in our growth. And especially if our business is depending on us to have those outgoing personalities and you don't, it just don't work. And I think about that journey alone, like that's a struggle for me. So we have to start to lean on other people. That's how we got to get out of it. Right. And I'm grateful for my clients that couldn't afford it and we was able to barter. And they just did one amazing thing. And they asked, they was like, could you? Absolutely. I get it. We'll help you, and it's just what it is. And I didn't have them kind of balls. I had them kind of balls. I was embarrassed. I'm like, you don't do that. And I was just so happy to be connected to my CEO when I worked at a company. My CEO told me one day, he was telling us a story, and he said, I was stuck in New York City and I was going to see a client to close my first deal. And I couldn't get back. So I called another client of mine to fly me home. And, he went on to tell this lavish story about all the struggles they went through. And while our struggles on the line, I walked away with the best advice in the world. Oh, you can call your clients to ask them for money when you need it. And that's what we did. We did that too. We had built such a relationship with our clients that we was able to say, look, business slow this month. We gonna need an extra $1,500. Can you help out? We pick up that phone and we call. We build those relationships. It's just a big, huge thing that we have to build the muscle and learn how to do. So when we thought about CSHEO Club, when we thought about all these issues that entrepreneurs have, from money, from the ability to build relationships, being connected with the right people, not really following other people's strategies, which I'm going to get to in 2 seconds. We thought about a place that needed to be a hub that we just connect, understand each other, figure out what we're good at, what we're lacking, because you need to be connected to people that has the skill set that you don't have, has the resources that you don't have. We're not in a position to hire every person we need. We're not in that position. I don't care if you want to start a salon. I don't care if you want to start a tax business. I don't care if you start your own clothes, your clothing line. I don't care. We can't hire everybody we need. We got to invest our money in certain ways. And so sometimes it requires exchange. Sometimes we can afford this part of your services, right? And not everything that you offer. But in this second, I just need you to look at my books real quick, Gabby. Could you get this? I don't need the whole package right now, but when I get there, I'm gonna get there, right? And it's kind of being able to do those things. So when we created the community, we thought about the way that we're going to deliver that. A lot of y'all know us from the Facebook group. Y'all know what time it is. We put resources in the group. We've done, videos. And the algorithm makes it rough. The algorithm do not show y'all all the questions that was asked. The algorithm is not our friend. It never will be. It's made to work for people who got money for ads. It's not made to work for us. The algorithm is not your friend. So we thought about that. Like, where can we put resources and you can actually access them? Where can you ask these questions and people actually be able to see it and answer them? And be notified that you even asked the question. Where can all this take place? And we built our own platform just for that. We scouted, we kind of looked at school and all these different amazing platforms, but they were just lacking all the tools we need. We thinking about raising funds from each other. Crowdfunding is important. When we was in the VC space, and I found out that they don't really fund everybody. And the more you're a minority, a male gets it. A black male is like secondary. A white woman definitely minority in the VC space, and then it goes to other minority women and black women. It just have a hierarchy chain. We realized that a lot of them had to get through crowdfunding. You just got to raise the money. So we added crowdfunding. We added all the features that we know was important, but then we said we need the people, and that takes a community like us, right? So on LinkedIn, I want to put this up real quick. On LinkedIn, it was really, really cool. But LinkedIn, I just took it for what LinkedIn said. If y'all don't know how LinkedIn works, you'll find out. But right now, I just want to touch on first degree, second degree, third degree, and followers. This is how LinkedIn kind of described them. And I remember we had a conversation with another client of ours. He used to be a client, he's no longer a client, but we have a relationship. And we was asking for money. And he had said, I have now $1 million friends that I can pick up my phone and call and ask money. I got about 4 in my circle. Y'all need relationships with people you could just pick up your phone and ask them for help when you need it as you're growing and closing deals, right? And that would be first degree relationships. That's anybody you could pick up the phone and directly ask. The reason why a lot of people not making money is because they're not in the right circles. Other entrepreneurs understand other entrepreneurs. Business people understand business people. But the problem is we don't have a close enough connection. We become second degree, third degree connections, which is somebody through somebody don't know you personally to take the risk on you, to look out for you like that. So we got to start formulating new relationships and making them where we're on a first name basis. Because you can get in them rooms, but it's a difference between picking up that phone and being able to say, hey, listen, I got to close this deal tomorrow, or I'm closing on this house, on this property tomorrow. I need an extra this and this and that. Oh, could you help me with this paperwork? I got to get this in tonight. That really happens with first degree connections. And as entrepreneurs, we don't build enough of those. We really don't build enough of those. LinkedIn kind of put it out there, and those who on LinkedIn who understand this already, but a lot of us, we really didn't understand what that meant. But that's literally what that meant. You're able to pick up that phone and have somebody prepare you for it. All of those, let me take this slide down because I need y'all to see my face when I say this. All of those success stories that you listen and watch, and y'all better get a keen ear. They had people. I was just listening to a story of another entrepreneur the other day, and she was telling the story about how she made a product, the hair care product line, and she had a friend that was in marketing, big time marketer, and she helped her with the marketing campaign, and it blew up. Told her exactly what to do, how to work it. It blew up, but she had the right friend in her corner. We hear things like from big companies, they stayed in their parents' garage. Some people don't even have parents' garages to stay in and live rent free. So you got expenses to your living expenses, you got other things to deal with. Everybody don't have that, right? So we got to start being that for each other. It looks like, I'm grateful for the way that Toya and Dr. T work, that, you know, when we in a personal crunch, we pulled each other out. And other ladies, and, you know, I'll never call nobody out, but other ladies have reached out to us and we pulled them out of a crunch. You know, whether we deliver the service, whether we gave them money, it was hotel rooms, all type of stories. We have similar stories because it's the road. You had to pay something to keep your business up, and now you in a hotel. It happens. But family members may tell you to quit. People that has a working mindset, and shout out to all our mindset coaches for businesses. Listen, y'all do a real service by transitioning people mindset from having a job to being in business, because in business it's volatile, it's not stable. So mindset coaches, man, y'all got to get with them if y'all don't have the mindset to get through this. But reality is, people that don't have the mindset of an entrepreneur will not understand why you keep going while you're falling. They don't understand that. They're going to tell you, you know what, you need to get a job, and you probably need to quit. It ain't working for you. But you're working on something that is hard to explain. I don't have all the pieces everybody else have. They listen to somebody else's success story and they like, well, why you can't do it? I'll show y'all why you can't do it. There's two different types of business owners. And I'm pulling this up because I want y'all to really understand these terms. While we're all entrepreneurs, while we're all CEOs, there are non-founders and there's founders. We're founders. And everybody who's founded a company understand the difference. But I'm going to break this down. A non-founder are typically independent contractors who sign on to existing companies. That has a form of stability. White label, private label. You're not responsible for creating the product. You're not responsible for creating the services. And these are good. Don't get it twisted, because I'm going to advise a lot of y'all to probably take this route. It's safe. This is where it's safe. You white label it. You just get out there. You brand it. You market. You resell it. You support it. Drop shipping. They are entrepreneurs too. They get good at marketing and sales. MLM, sales, resellers, marketing, sales, affiliate marketing, network marketing, sales, content creators. They create the content, the platform. They, get it, learn the algorithm. The platform pays them out. Partnering with a business that's already built. These are all safe bets. Or franchising or buying in. They are easy to start. The product and service is already there. There may be training material required, like you learn, but they provide the training material. It kind of sometimes comes with an inbuilt support network, or inbuilt, different things that is there for you to make money. These are still entrepreneurs. They're entrepreneurs, but the advice for them is going to be quite different, right? Because they got to get stronger in marketing, stronger in sales, stronger in branding, stronger in just maybe operations. But a lot of the components are already built. But as a founder, you're responsible for everything. And as a micro business, now that y'all know that term and what it is, and a founder, you got to put together all these things from scratch. So your roadmap looks like this. Non-founders, they research, they reach out to the companies they want to work with, or somebody solicited them. If it's require any capital, it could be a little capital, a lot of capital, but they're buying into something existing. They go through the onboarding and the setup process, and they start doing business and making money. This is the route that when somebody does not understand how business works, they typically are looking at a non-founder success or a long process that happened with a founder that they look like an overnight success, but they kind of had all this pre-built in stuff, and they're comparing you to that, and you're making it look hard. You're not making it look hard. That's what it is. It is hard. Statistically, it's hard. So for founders, you got to do the research. You got to have strategy. All the things that you don't have, you got to buy. You got to develop the product and service. You got to put the operations in place. You got to set up the marketing. And if that's not your skill set, you got to learn it, or you got to find the money to hire somebody to do it. And then you got to get out there with the customers, and you got to deliver the product and service. Drop shipping, they deliver it, right? But when you made it, you delivering it. And then you have to analyze the data and figure out what's best next. These are a lot on micro businesses. And we're competing again with companies that have teams and teams and teams to do this stuff for us. For them, we got to figure this out. So we start putting our teams together based off of what can sell first. So back on that slide, when I talked about why businesses fail, and they said statistically, it says no demand, no marketing. As a micro business, I know people are going to tell you, pursue your passions, do this, do that. But if that passion do not sell, you're not going to stay in business. Business requires revenue. Hard bottom line, business requires revenue. And if your passion is not strategized enough, if it's not in demand, you're only going to get a few customers and business is going to be hard and you're going to have to revamp. But like I told you, do not quit. Don't quit. You learn, you adjust, and you keep going. So that is one of the biggest points I wanted to drive home, is that there are terms that you hear. We know where we stand. We're micro businesses with very limited resources. And I'm sharing it with you in Blitz, and we're going to break this down in multiple conversations. I'm not just having one conversation with y'all, but I'm just kind of giving you an overview of what our journey looks like from a high prospect level. And we're going to start getting into these points. But just to understand that we ain't working with a lot. And for us to have made it to collectively, because it took us collectively to see six figures, it's amazing. You know, we had to show up with multiple people to close certain contracts, and, you know, we had to pay out, but it's just what it was, you know, just to get in those doors, and they open another door and another door. We never did any marketing for ourselves. We had to work word of mouth, and that was strictly off of relationships. That was talking to people, getting referrals, showing up, being available, and working things out. I remember my very first client as a solopreneur asked me, what if something happened to you? What do I do if you're the business I go with? I couldn't answer that question, because another business with really, you know, a whole bunch of employees, they could support them. Like, something happens to the CEO, the company gonna keep moving. But we're not set up like that. We're not set up like that. So I just want to say, because I'm going to do another video, and it's not going to be here. It's going to be more formal. This is a more informal touch base. I'm going to do videos on the 4 things that impact your business growth. And I'm going to touch on personal life, personal finances, skill set, and network. Those are the 4 things that impact your business growth. And we're going to break this down, because people think that starting a business is a walk in the park, is this glowy thing. Being a CEO is a lifestyle. Your business do not care if you're sick. It don't care. It will, you end up in the hospital, it shuts down. And a lot of us can't thrive beyond that, right? Like, we got to get out and start all over again. Something happened to us. What I like with partnership and what we took on is that even when I go to sleep and oversleep, somebody can show up, because it happens. It happens. Somebody shows up though. I showed up like today, Dr. T and Toya both not feeling well. I'll show up. I'm here. I'm available. We have partnerships. So I'm saying all of this to say that we have extended this to you. We built a platform for you to do the same thing, to connect with other women, to get in here, to start to build teams, get to know us. This is ground floor, day one. We love y'all. We rock it with y'all. We want y'all to check us out. Come and connect with us, because strategies are one-to-one. Strategies are one-to-one. There's no I can't get on this camera and have the answers for all entrepreneurs. It's impossible. I just showed you. There's difference between founders. I haven't gotten into B2B or B2C or product, this type of product in demand. It's so much stuff. There's no one umbrella answer. And we got to take into account your situation. We got to take into account what you're coming to the table with. What are you lacking, right? Because a salesperson will make money faster if their natural skill is sales. They just need a product. But some people, that's not their natural skill. They come with genius, but not the rest to move the product. You know, I think of Steve Jobs and the other Steve who started Apple together. The other Steve, he was an engineer. So you just need that balance. And our platform allows you to do so. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all a couple of features. I screenshotted, put it on the slide for y'all. Early access members, because we want y'all to get in here. We want y'all to benefit. We want y'all to come in. And this is imperative and this is important. Early launch full access to the full platform. Because right now, insiders, you're coming into a co-working space. You're going to connect with us live. We're going to be working with you, strategizing here where you're coming from, allowing you to be vulnerable. But the full access platform where you're able to barter, exchange, post your questions, etc., it doesn't officially launch until October. But you'll get early access in September because we want you to be able to be in position to be able to barter and monetize your products, your services for yourself. So being a member now has its perks. You're first here. We have live weekly insider sessions. What I'm saying to you publicly is politically correct. I promise you it's politically correct because we're going to get down and dirty inside the club. I'm going to be telling you what it really looked like. I'm going to be there guiding you, and along with other sisters, we invite all women in here to help each other. But at the end of the day, I'm getting down to business for real. We're going to break this down. We're going to focus on money making activities. If you are a micro business, I'm always going to tell you to go after the money because you're going to have to fund business yourself, and we will help put you in position to do so. So that's what the first 3 rows is about. Getting in here so you can get in position, and we're going to use whatever resources are available to us, tap into the network, and go from there. You are the first to know and first to access everything. I got to take the camera down. I want y'all to understand this. How we ended up in the VC space, one example, was we built a startup project. That was legitly a startup project, not, micro business, small, but it was a startup project. Wasted a lot of money, time, and energy. We didn't quit on it. We just have to push pause because we needed more capital. It was TV channels. We built TV channels. Like, we didn't go through a third-party company. We got down, we built them out, had everything set up. Awesome channels. I said to myself, I'm not giving up on my goals and my dreams, but I got to focus on money-making activity, which is the agency. So we still focus on the agency. But reality is, my CSHEOs, all my CSHEO content creators, y'all going on TV. We're going to launch this thing. We're going to move this thing. All of the services, BASL, man, these are service providers, right? Women that are good at all type of services. We built the platform out for that. You guys are going on there. We got to start creating our own doors. We got to start building our own spaces. We got to start doing our own marketing, and we have to do it together. That's the difference. Like, maybe we got the money to do the marketing. You got the services. Y'all band together, and we're able to service other clients, other entrepreneurs, put products on the market. It's a band together situation. So I just really want to let you know that point 4, first to know and first to access, is all about those additional products and services that we have pre-built. We actually worked this backwards. We built everything that y'all need to get on later to really make some money, but we started with the club to prepare you to go. And we're going to have exclusive insider events. We are definitely celebrating together. And you get on our support wall. So shout out for everyone who's on our support wall. And you get exclusive badges. And we also have bonus surprise giveaways. We are really serious about seeing entrepreneurs grow. We thought this out. Y'all see I came through with some facts. I came in with facts to help y'all out because it was well thought out to what is really needed to help you grow. So I've been here for 40 minutes, and this ain't my thing. But I will see y'all inside the CSHEO Club. I will be back tomorrow just diving deeper into some of these things that I blitzed through real quick just to kind of give you the feel for it. But the key is relationships. We want y'all to come in. We want y'all to be able to barter, pay for services, ask for what you need, be vulnerable, test to get real feedback, improve, and launch out there outside of our ecosystem. We want y'all to be able to support each other. So I'm looking forward to working with everybody. I got to get back to work. I took a break. I got to knock out some clients. We got an event this weekend. We got stuff to set up. But I wanted to jump on here to let you guys know that we will be in collab. I will be in collab working, and I can multitask. I can help you through things, and as well as get stuff done. I'm probably need to ask y'all some questions too. And just to understand membership dues, you have the option of lifetime. We only got a few seats left. We started at 40. We already down. So those lifetime seats are being ate up. We have 37 left. We don't intend to fill up this community. And we have the 1 year for $149 right now. So you're able to get in here for an entire year for $149. Is not much to join, but it's much to learn. And that is just to help us continue to support you guys, keep the platform up and running, the support that it needs to go, just so we can all do our thing and grow. So the membership dues helps you, helps us give back and continue to be available the way that we need to be. So I love you all. It's been real. It's been a fun and wild audience, man. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to connect with you guys tomorrow. Holla.